This video is provided by the Center for Scholarly Communication. My name is Megan, and I'm a graduate academic assistant with the CSC. In this video, I'll review 3 tips that will help you as you're writing your literature review. While writing a literature review can seem like a daunting project, in this video, I'll give you just 3 things for you to keep in mind as you're going through that might make this process a little bit easier. In this video, I use the resource Thesis and Dissertation Writing in a Second Language by Paltridge and Starfield. This resource is available at UBC Okanagan's library website online. In this video, I will cover why you even write literature reviews in the first place. And then I will talk about how to keep track of your sources and develop a synthesis grid so that writing your literature review becomes that much easier. Next, I'll talk about how to organize your literature review, and then when you're writing, I'll talk about how to integrate those sources together. First, why do we write a literature review at all? We want to contextualize our study. To do this, we have to describe and synthesize major studies and relevant background theory. When you're doing this, you are using words that indicate comparison and contrast. So you want to try to describe the strengths and the weaknesses of previous studies and also demonstrate what needs to be done. This is called identifying the gap in knowledge, and your reader should be naturally drawn to that same point that you are. By this, I mean that you would have developed a logical argument demonstrating what research has been done, that your reader has a natural question of what should come next. You also write a literature review because you want to establish your credibility for your audience. This shows that you've done your research and you've looked into what other studies have been done. In this way, you'll demonstrate how other scholarship has influenced your research. You will also identify how your project will contribute to the larger academic conversation. What are you going to add with your dissertation or thesis? My first tip is to develop a synthesis grid. A synthesis grid can help you keep track of the information that needs to be included in the literature review. As you're going through sources, try to keep an Excel or Google spreadsheet that will identify the citation of each article that you're reading. You'll want to describe the thesis of that article or hypothesis. You may want to identify what theory they're using. You want to describe the methodology and their key findings. You might also want to make your own notes about the limitations and strengths of that study. You can put whatever information in the columns that you'd like or that you think would be most useful for you. After you start to go through the literature, you'll notice that you may see patterns that emerge in the resources that you've read. This can lead you to help organize how your literature review will look. There's no right or wrong answer for organizing your literature review, but here are some suggestions. You may want to organize your literature review by topic. So this means that you'll have headings and subheadings that will help guide the reader through your research. If you organize it by theme, you'll talk about certain concepts in each paragraph that naturally flow from one area to the next. If you want to organize your literature in order, you may choose to do a chronological presentation where you start with early studies and you work your way through in order of which the studies have been done, ending with the most recent research. You also may consider organizing your literature review by methodology. How many field studies have been done on your topic? How many randomized controlled trials? Or how many case studies have been done on your topic? And so you might choose to have headings that indicate the methodologies of previous studies. Once you go to start writing your literature review, you'll want to ensure that you have reporting verbs. So these are words like found, or noted, or data demonstrated, or the findings suggested. So these sample phrases come from the academic phrase bank, and they identify the author of the work, and they describe what findings they had. You can also use transition words to identify whether you are trying to describe comparisons between studies, or if you're trying to indicate differences between studies using words like in contrast or however. Thanks for watching this video, and if you're looking for more resources, I would recommend going to the Academic Phrase Bank to help you structure your writing in your literature review. Best of luck with the writing process.